from Group 5, we will explain about poverty and food stability. First material is about poverty and food insecurity. Poverty is the state of not having enough material possession or income for a person's basic needs. Poverty may include social, economic, and political elements. Next, what is food insecurity? Food insecurity describes a household's inability to provide enough food for every person to live an active and healthy life. Food insecurity is one way we can measure and assess the risk of hunger. In the United States, currently 1 in 9 people struggle with hunger. Next, what are the effects of food insecurity? Food insecurity can have a wide impact depending on each individual curriculum stage. Some of the most common yet complex effects of food insecurity include: first, serious health complications, especially when people facing hunger are forced to choose between spending money on food and medicine or medical care. The second is damage to a child's ability to learn and grow. And the last is difficult decision for seniors, often living on fixed income, such as choosing between paying for food and critical health care.
Political economy in the food sector. Poverty is the main cause of food security problem in Indonesia. It is related to the income level of the community, which is below average, so that they are unable to meet their own food needs. Inadequate fulfillment of community needs due to low purchasing power will also affect the community's nutritional status if not fulfilled. Actually, there are several solutions that can be done by our nation in order to have good food security. Among the solutions is food diversification. Food diversification is a process utilizing on developing food material so that its provision is increasingly diverse. The background of pursuing food diversity is saying the huge potential of our country in biological resources.
Okay, I will try to explain the next material is about solution of the strengthened food security. The first solution is food diversification. Food diversification is a process of utilizing and developing a food material so that its provision is increasingly diverse. The full material will be explained in the next slide. The next is about the second one is support in situ income activities. Increasing in situ incomes aim to increasing community income through agricultural activities based on local resource. The meaning of in situ is that area of origin, so that this income increasing activity is focused on the area of origin by utilizing a local resource. The next is it needs stakeholder support in developing BUMP. BUMP is a badan usaha milik petani. We have support by farmer group. Conservation effort for planting local plants based on the good farming system. If the farmer have a good farming system, it means that they can get a better quality than before. The next is the government. The government coordinating facilities and inventory program for crop rotation and farmer supervision in collaboration with academic to increase the productivity. For example, the government make a KUD or in Indonesian we call Koperasi Unit Desa. The next is industry. The industry is preparing for the formation and managerial of the industrial group that are member of the 4 pillar. The 4 pillar is the farmer, local government, industry, and academia. The next is academics. The facilitate development of planting technology and locally based on products that have a market potential. The next is the food independent village development. In the first solution, the objective of this independent pangan village is to provide self-capital assistance to poor households so that they can develop a business that can generate money so that their food needs can be fulfilled. The last is accelerate diversification of food and nutrition consumption. Okay, I will trying to explain about food diversification. Before that, I give some explain about the definition of food diversification. In this picture, we know that we have another food plant such as banana, corn, cassava, sago, and other. Because of this, the government want to make a diversification of food policy that gives some policy for society must not only to eating rice but also can eating another food plants such as cassava, sago, and other. Next slide. In Indonesia, we know that more than 50,000 types of plant are edible, but only 15 types of food plant are consumed as provider of 19% of calorie need, especially rice, corn, and wheat. In Indonesia, there are various types of food that are accustomed to being consumed by people to meet calorie needs, including cassava, sweet potato, taro, sorghum, banana, and other. Why the government want to make diversification of this diversification of food? Because the purpose of developing diversification of local food substitute is to substitute of for the rice, and also the reducing dependence on a certain food source, ensuring food availability for the community independently. But how we can success the food diversification program? The first one is we must to include the material on diversification of food and allow domestic product in the school curriculum, either as a local content or inserted in certain subject. The next is they promote the creativity of the nation children in the creation of simple and sophisticated technology to increase production based on local food ingredients. The next is promotion of food diversification at the level of education, academic, and institution or agency. The last way to make success for this program is encourage small and medium enterprise to produce semi-finished raw material on large scale. Okay, the next material is about poverty and urbanization. Poverty is a condition when the person is unable to fulfill basic needs such as food, clothing, shelter, education, and health. While urbanization is an increase in the percentage of the population in urban settlement and a resulting extension of the influence of urban culture and lifestyle. When the people going to urbanization, in the fact they have to compete firstly in urban areas so that without expertise and high education, some of those who have mediocre capital turn to the informal sector, such as becoming hawkers, selling meatball, and so on. But some of them fall into the trap of poverty, become a suburban urban people without a job and live as unemployed, so that to make ends meet they turn to urban intersection. Some become homeless, some become street singer, and even on the one hand, it also encourages someone to fulfill their need through wrong ways, as well as through criminal acts.
Yeah.